There is no investigation. This boy has...
There is not, really? It is to me.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
But I had to put her on the side and worry about
I'm gonna do what I gotta do for me and my boys and my kids.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
There is no investigation. This boy
There
has...
is not, really? It is to me. Right, idiot.
I've done my best. It's hard, you know, that's still tough.
But I had to put her on the side and worry about the boys.
I'm gonna do what I gotta do for me and my boys and my kids.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
Live from the NBD Production Studios, you're in the lab with your host, Joshua Diaz.
There is no investigation. This boy has...
There is not, really? It is to me. But I had to put her on the side and worry about the boys. But I had to...
Welcome to the lab. I'm your
There is no
host,
investigation.
Joshua
Don't say any
Diaz.
F's and stuff.
So it's
But I had to put her... But I had to put her on the side and worry about the boys.
if I don't know if any of you have noticed, but recently in the past 2 weeks or so, I've canceled many lives, and for various reasons. Some of them selfish, some of them I wasn't comfortable with the topic, or I was either frustrated and I didn't want to seem emotional. And so I've really just tried to, when we talk about this case, Summer Wells's case, that I come correct, proper, researched, try my best to not be biased. And sometimes I'm good at it. Sometimes I'm not. And I've probably, over the past 3 weeks, canceled probably 10 different shows. Had stuff prepared for all of them and said, you know what? I'm going to scrap it. I can't. I don't want to. I'm not going to do it. And I was doing my best to be respectful and thoughtful, among other things. Look, I fail at that stuff all the time. I get it. But really quick, I do want to clear up a couple misconceptions and what I consider just flat out lies. And I'm going to talk a little bit about Tim, and I need to ease into Mr. Mullen's post because he's so infuriating and so obnoxiously stupid and a weasel and a rat. And he's a lot of things. None of them I respect. Let's just be clear on that right now. Tim Mullen, you're a propaganda machine. You're a liar. And you had no business reaching out to Brandy. Dawn yesterday says, hey, We tried to reach out to you. That's not true. Tim Mullen tried to reach out to you. Brandy reached out to me. Said, why is he reaching out to me? And I'm like, well, I don't know. So nobody stopped Don and Candace from talking to Brandy. Tim is the one that got involved and got told to kick rocks. And he took offense to that. He took offense to that. That's fine. Got no problems there. But nobody kept Don and Candace from speaking to Brandy. Never, ever, ever. I mean, while we're at it, I mean, we might as well just talk about it, about Tim. I'm not sure. Like, I know that Don and Tim are friends. And Tim feels that it's his responsibility to dictate what's said through Summer Wells's website, through with his own feelings, by the way. And Tim, as a media manager, what you need to do is you need to just open up your own blog. Use your name. Say, this is Tim Mullen's stupid ideas and thoughts that no one gives a shit about. But you can read it anyway because I'm an idiot and I let my personal feelings get in the way of what's right and what's good.com. I think that domain is open. I think. Could be wrong. I have to double check it for you. And I will. I'll check it for you, Tim. I can help you get set up, like a GoDaddy.com account or something along those lines. We'll take care of it. But I definitely want to address a few things. After last night, Dawn tells me, hey, you know what, Josh, I haven't blocked you. I've been trying to get a hold of you, so on and so forth. And I don't believe that's true. I don't. I believe that's a lie. But after it was over, I got a phone call from Don, and then he left me a message. I didn't answer. But, thought maybe, hey, like, I didn't want to talk to him last night. So I said, I call him back today. I called him back today, and my number's clearly blocked, which is fine. Totally understandable. I don't blame him. I'd block me too. But Don's the one that asked for help. Dawn came to me saying, hey, you got any ideas? Yes, I do. Okay, I don't like that idea. Then fine. That's fine. But don't say, I even told Dawn, look, man, if I've lied about you, if I've said just flat out lies about you, point them out and I will publicly apologize one by one. One by one, I'll apologize. If in fact I really have lied against Dawn or Candace. I do not believe that I have. But what I got from Don and what I'm getting from him is that it is okay to talk about Summer and to share her picture, but only in the way that paints Don and Candace in a good light. Okay. They like it when you cover the case, but Don't talk about them. Well, the problem with that is that you're the parents of the missing child. How are we supposed to cover it without talking about you? Oh, it was a warm, sunny day, and it was such a lovely, family-filled, fun day. Don was at work playing with his pud, and just working hard to come home to his family and be a loving, thoughtful husband. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. Super happy kids and a wife that's doing, you know what I mean? Like, shut up. You don't like the way that I cover it. You don't like my feelings. You don't like my thoughts. Well, too bad. I mean, it's asinine to think that every bit of coverage that you get is going to be good. I mean, people can sit there and say that I'm not fair. I'll tell you what, I've been more than fair. And by the way, Don knows that I haven't blasted every single thing that we've talked about. Trust me. And he knows what I'm talking about. And he doesn't want me to talk about it, and I won't talk about it. Because I think it will affect the investigation. But he knows I know. We've talked about it. And he gets pissed about it every single time. And he blocks me. But I told him, hey, man, I got no intentions of saying anything about that. None. I haven't blasted everything. I certainly haven't, and I won't. I don't want to. I don't need to. But I tell you what, this whole Tim, I mean, imagine having the balls to question a foundation like the Cold Case Foundation or any one of their dozens and dozens and dozens of experts that work there and being best friends with Dawn. No offense, Dawn, but you know you blocked me. You know that you're playing games. You know, your tone with Brandy really was weird. You had to go. He had to go. I gotta go. Where'd you have to go to? Oh, you had to go over to another panel and hang out and talk about anything but the help that you're offered. Now, I get it. I get it. TBI and all that. By the way, you were the one that asked. Oh, you were the one that asked, not me. Okay. But I do. Let me check this out here for a second. And then we will. Let me see. I'll read you something. And then I'll get to Timmy's post. All right. I want to reiterate this to people. When I asked Don why Lawson said that he wasn't cooperating, the answer that I got, and I want to show it to you, because telling you and showing you are two different things. So let me just put this out here real quick. By the way, this is not what he knows that we don't want to talk about. Here we go. Let's see. That way you can read it for yourself. And all right. So I asked him, hey, bud. That's what I call him. Hey, bud. Hey, bud. My question was, why did Lawson say you weren't cooperating? Good question. We always cooperated unless he was confused because we both got lawyers for our kids and they wanted us to not cooperate with law enforcement anymore because it could hurt our chances of getting our boys back. But we still chose to fully cooperate with Ellie in hopes of finding Summer. That's the truth. I think there was some confusion. I don't think that I believe that. I think that's a lie. I think a lot of it's a lie. What lawyer would tell you to not cooperate trying to find your daughter? Why? Now, I believe that you guys denied having lawyers of any kind, but we know that that's a lie as well. Dawn, directly after going off here, went over to somebody else's panel, which is fine. Like, I could care less. But, the way that he kind of went about it, he said, I think that him and I kind of came to an understanding. Well, we certainly didn't. And he also says that after I left, I went on to bash him some more. Also not true. Not true. That's just flat out not true. I talked to Chris on the phone asking him the steps that the Cold Case Foundation would need to take in order to help. That was the conversation that I had with Chris, not trashing Dawn. So somebody is telling Dawn to not cooperate with law enforcement, but he was like, I would never not do that, So I think Ronnie's confused. Mr. Lawson is confused. Why lie about that? I don't know. I'm not sure why. There's got to be a reason for it. So Ronnie Lawson's confused. Is that what we're going to go with that one? I have no idea. Honestly, I have no clue if they are or they aren't. I'm not sure. I mean, I assume so. Thank you, Miss Tammy. I appreciate that very much. So instead of doing, what's proper, they kind of just say, well, we don't need anybody's help, law enforcement. By the way, Tim, how often do you talk to law enforcement? Because Don and Candace don't talk to law enforcement. Don and Candace did not pass lie detector tests. And I don't want to hear anybody say that Brian Hinton said Sheriff Lawson said that he did. I don't care. They didn't pass their lie detector tests. You don't pass a lie detector test after 3 times. And that's at least 3 times. You just don't. That's not passing a lie detector. That's you taking a lie detector test 3 times and finally them just going, oh, frig it. We don't even know what's going on. the anger and the wrath that was spit towards me was, I mean, not unexpected, but I mean, it was, of course it was out of line, but you know, I don't really care. Like I said, I fell asleep really fast last night. I fell asleep really fast and it was lovely. I enjoyed it. Snoring up a storm, you know how I do. You know how I do it. But like, come on, man. The lies. The lies. And but I do want to let me read Tim's personal blog because I think it's important. But it's like, it's so long though. That's the crappy part. But let me just move this over here and then we'll just get to it. Like there's nothing to it. Do it to it. I'll share the screen here. Talk about like inappropriate. Talk about inappropriate. And Patty Ponytail, thank you so much. And by the way, I want to say this too. They're so busy pocket watching and worrying about how much money people make off of doing shows about their screwed up life. I'd be willing to tell you exactly how much I made, as long as Dawn and Candace are willing to tell me how much they get sent. And don't tell me it's nothing, because that's bull. So, Tim, why don't you worry about that? All right. Find Summer Wells. This is the Find Summer Wells official page. As anyone in law enforcement knows, many times it's not guilt to refuse help. It's wisdom. Now, I'll tell you right away off the bat, any cop that's like, when somebody says, you know, we lawyered up, you know, cops are going to think, okay, well, yeah, I mean, it makes sense, but it doesn't look good. People making a social media financial career off your missing daughter by daily attacking you. And by the way, this is directed at me. This is directed at Chris. And if he wasn't such a wuss, he would just call us out. And by the way, Tim, I would love to talk to you, you weasel, you scumbag. I would love to talk to you. You want to talk in private? We'll talk in private. You want to come on here and talk, but you can't. You won't. You won't talk to me. Will you? You'll just sit up on Summer's page and type stuff in your opinion. That's your opinion. Okay. You're not privy to any information about this case other than what Dawn and Candace tell you. And they get told nothing. And you know how I know that? Because they've told me. Law enforcement don't tell us nothing. And they've been saying that from day one. You crusty old fart. People making a social media financial career off your missing daughter by daily attacking your family. And by the way, I'm not attacking their family. Whatever's put out there is put out there. However it's interpreted is how it's interpreted. Sorry. By daily attacking your family are not the people to be offering help. I'm glad that that's your opinion and that you express this opinion on Summer Wells's page. This should be on timsadumbass.com. The complexities of Summer Wells's case cannot be compared to others. Well, I bet you it could, except in the intensity of the emotion and broken hearts. Without TBI and or FBI approval, crowded outside help could be disastrous on many levels. How disastrous could it be? Tim, is it so disastrous that a little 5-year-old girl could go missing without a trace and been gone for 2 years? Are we talking that kind of disastrous? Is that the kind of disastrous that we're talking about? That seems very disastrous. It seems like we're past that. The complexities of the Summerwells case cannot be compared to other cases except in the intensity of the emotion and broken hearts. Without TBI, FBI approval, crowded outside help, blah, 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 blah. We understand the latest tool, and Tim, you are a tool, of certain YouTubians is to squeeze the wells, to use a specific organization to dive into the middle of a hot case. And if the wells don't, the YouTubians can then squeeze out more defamation profits. Defamation? Do you know what defamation is? Are you aware of what actual defamation? Look, we can just be honest about it. Let's talk about the timeline. Let's talk about Candace. Wait a minute. Oh, I got a good one. We'll get back to this. Let's listen to this really quick. This is, I believe this clip's from Ziggy from like a year and a half ago. Just listen to this dysfunction. And it involves Tim.
We don't for the fit today.
Tim did.
You did.
No, I didn't.
Then you're gonna try to shoot Tim, everything else.
So this is a day that Tim had set up a camera crew and Dawn ended up doing the interview. Candace refused again. What's new? Dawn's kind of pissed at her about it.
We don't for the fit today.
Tim did.
You did.
No, I didn't.
Then you're gonna try to shoot Tim, everything else.
I never say anything like that.
30-6.
What's on 30-6? You're fucking nuts. I don't even own a 30-6.
43, whatever you got.
I don't even have a gun.
Something really good.
I don't even have a gun, but yeah, I'll be told that I'll shoot people with a 30-6 and all these other guns that I don't even have. Wow, Don. What 44 mate?
So Dawn is basically saying that Candace was threatening to shoot Tim because she was pissed off that he showed up with a camera crew. All right. Why? I don't know, but she didn't do the interview.
We don't for the fit today.
Tim did.
You did.
Who threw the fit today? Tim did. That would be Tim Mullen.
We don't for the fit today.
By the way, this is the same guy that downloaded the contents of Dawn's cell phone to a computer. And then I don't know if he handed in the phone or whatever he did with it. But does anybody remember that? I find that one weird. Why did, Tim's in jail or Dawn's in jail and Tim is downloading information off of Dawn's phone? Nobody ever got a really good explanation about that. And I'm sure the explanation probably wasn't even true.
We don't for the fit today.
Tim did.
You did.
No, I didn't.
Then you're gonna try to shoot Tim, everything else.
I never say anything like that.
30-6.
Now, I don't know if Dawn is just trolling Candace. It's very, very possible.
We don't
Anything like that.
30-6. Try to shoot Tim, everything else.
I never say anything like that.
30-6.
What's on 30-6? You're fucking nuts. I don't even own a 30-6.
43, whatever you got.
I don't even have a gun.
Something really good.
I don't even have a gun, but yeah, I'll be told that I'll shoot people with a 30-6 and all these other guns that I don't even have. Wow, Don. What 44 Magnum?
By the way, they're on a live stream here. This wasn't anything This was not anything done in secret. There was no secret recording. They were on a live in front of, I don't know how many people, but it was probably a lot. And this is the slanderous defamation that they're talking about.
I'm 44 Magnum. I can't even own a gun. What the f*** are you talking about?
She's not allowed to own a gun.
Come on.
I can't even own a gun. What the f*** are you talking about?
Why you have them all?
Oh my gosh, damn. Donnie's gonna watch this in mine.
Oh, you want to run your mouth?
Please.
Sure do.
Wow, Donnie. Quit lying. You need to quit lying to people.
I'm not lying.
Yeah, you are.
You were the
I have to say nothing like that.
this thing out. Because Tim was up there in this show.
No.
Why did she go down
You're
there?
lying.
So now Dawn is furious because Candace, according to him, had a great opportunity that Tim set up. Tim set this up, a camera crew, and Candace said no. Dawn's pissed about that. This was a while ago. I don't know the exact date.
Tim was up there in this show.
No.
Why did she go down
You're
there?
lying.
What did she do what you're supposed to do? It's not about you. It's about someone.
You don't have to do it. It's about you.
Yes, she did.
Oh, wow. I didn't go there.
All right, then.
Wow.
And we come back to the part of I tried to protect, or I even tried to protect you. And she says, no, you didn't. And that's when he says, wow, B word, wow. And I cut all the cuss words out of this one because there was a lot. And Dawn was especially demonstrative towards Candace in this, which is nothing real new for him.
It's about someone.
You don't have to do it. It's about you.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it would be asinine to think that, they're hiding
All
stuff.
right, then.
I went and had your asshole, and I even protected your
You
asshole.
can text me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, just don't go there. Don't even go there.
Now you're going to hear the phone start ringing. Candace hops on the phone with Tim. Why? I don't know.
I'm sorry, Dawn.
No, she had a good opportunity, didn't she?
She had a good opportunity today. And I agree with him there. That's a great opportunity to, whenever you can, to get in front of a camera and talk about it. That's a great opportunity. And she did blow it. That pissed Dawn off.
Don't even go there. Wow.
I'm sorry, Dawn.
No, she had a good opportunity, didn't she?
I'm sorry.
Just about herself. That
And I want to say this too. And you see on Tim's personal blog, he puts, favorable things, like favorable articles and stuff up, and tries to spin this whole narrative, which is totally him. But he always says this is for the new people coming to the case. Well, guess what? This is for the new people coming to the case too.
Hey, Tim. Hello. Hey, Tim.
I've done the news interview today. I said, please, about summer. But
Hello. Oh, Donnie said that I thought you was a 30-06. 30-06. Let's go with a 30-07.
yeah. See, I told you.
No.
So I think that's Tim in the back. They went, I think it was a 30-07 or whatever. I think that was him. I can't tell.
I told you. Yeah. See, I told you.
Let's go with a 30-06. Let's go with a 30-07.
Yeah. See, I told you.
No, Donnie said trying to make me look like a piece of shit.
Well, my cat is really concerned. Look.
I think he has a crush on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, But you never hold it by the neck. I think that's
because what you said.
Here's a question. Don't you think Tim is an LE plant? No, I think he's a fossil. If that answers your question.
hold it by the neck. I think that's
Because what you said. That looks for his feelings.
yeah, threatened you with a 30-out stage.
Feelings. That's okay, kid.
Here!
Look, he's crying now.
I think that the best thing, that's right, hair curlers and crime, fire Tim. Hashtag fire Tim. Probably for the best. Probably for the best. He's probably a detriment to everything and everybody around him because he sucks. The complexities of the Summer Wells case cannot be compared to others. Okay, we already do that. We understand the latest tool. Tim's a tool. And if the Wells don't, a bad salesman can destroy a company's organization's reputation. People lose trust. So I'm guessing that Tim is the salesman here, I think. Especially if the bad apple hasn't been fired. Similitude. And similitude, it would be highly disrespectful to the TBI and FBI to bring in help from those who legally would not be allowed to randomly be handed the files of the Summer Wells case. Did Tim watch last night? Did he listen to anything that Brandy had to say? I don't think he did. Scum. Absolute scum. Certain YouTubians can profit by the public's natural curiosity, which many vilely do. Welcome to the entertainment paparazzi industry. Welcome to how snake oil salesmen vacuum money from their manipulated groupies. But you can't build a space shuttle when your experience is building a 56 Chevy. And you definitely would never be called upon to repair a SpaceX rocket whose countdown is paused from the public eye. I don't know what the hell that means. It's dumb and it means nothing. Offering the Wells help does not cover for the daily onslaught that spews out of the offering soul's mouth. Whose words are these?
We don't do the fit today. 43, whatever you got.
have a gun!
Okay, so that's Don and Candace's voice. All right, I just want to make sure. SpaceX. Shout out to our boy Elon. God, I bet if Tim was to storm the Capitol, he'd probably ride a chariot there or something. I heard that Tim's really into racing, and I heard that Tim's favorite racer is Ben-Hur. I know I daily butcher your family, but trust me, I'm a good guy here to help you. First of all, I never said that I was a good guy, but I did say that personally, I can try to get you some help. I'm a good guy here to help you. Is that the public is educated on organizations, foundations, and independents that are available in the USA to assist people who do not have such national and international exposure for their specific cases. And there are hundreds, if not thousands, of those cases in desperate need of assistance. Okay, well, then go help them. The Wells have county, state, and national law enforcement help. And yes, I capitalize LE out of full respect. He's got a first responders boner. Trust me, I back law enforcement, but I tell you who I don't back is Tim. If TBI, FBI needs further assistance from these other groups, there are protocols that are to be followed. And if you would have listened to the show last night, you old bat, you would have heard what those procedures were. God, you're infuriating. It's like talking to the crypt keeper. Order and respect solves cases in complex cases. First of all, Tim, I want to know how many cases have you solved ever? Same amount as me, right? 0. We've solved 0 cases between the two of us. I wonder how many the Cold Case Foundation has. I'm sure there's an answer there. And complex case, and I'm guessing it's probably more than 0, because Tim knows all about this stuff, guys. Tim knows all about these complex cases. But does he? And we need to white this out, this findsummerwells.com, and make it timspersonalblog.com, timspersonalfeelings.com, timsdumbthoughts.com, timsanidiot.com. Have I made myself clear enough? You know, I'm not all for dragging somebody. Sometimes I am. But sometimes people need it. Sometimes people need to be told that they're as useless as a crap-flavored lollipop. I thank you, Karen. I appreciate that very much. The fact that the man thinks that it is proper for him to even offer his stupid opinion is infuriating. Why is Tim interfering? He's got more information than the parents or LE, inside knowledge. Well, I sure hope he does, Noel, because, and I hope he knows exactly what happened, so they can haul his ass away too. Every time anybody ever reaches out to Tim or questions anything Tim says, he says, "You're under investigation." He says, "You're under investigation," or "You've inserted yourself into this case, and now you are under investigation." That's what he says. That you've made yourself a target. What have you done, Tim? Not only did you insert yourself into this case, you crowbarred yourself in there. I mean, crowbarred. And that's the crowbarring of the door, not Tim walking. And, you know, I think people may be like, "Josh, you're being too mean to Tim. Josh, you shouldn't talk about Tim that way. Josh, you shouldn't do this. Josh, shouldn't." Look, we're so far past that, folks. Tim has said that, you know, my channel's discredited, that I'm a discredited YouTuber, that I only care about money, that I only do this and that and this and that and this and that. I don't care. I'll tell you what, if my best friend had a missing daughter and people were offering help, I'd be telling them, take it. And if they said no, I say, "What in the hell are you doing? Are you out of your damn mind?" "Oh, Ellie's got it. Ellie's got it." Well, you know what? They very well may have it. But how about you let Ellie decide that? Tim. Let Ellie decide who has what. Not you, not anybody else. Let Ellie decide. You're a pile. You're a pile. And, and Don tries to say to me, Josh, I think you'd like him if you knew him. No, I wouldn't. I certainly wouldn't like him. You know why? I wouldn't like somebody that goes against the best interest of this little girl, Summer Wells. I don't give a damn about Dawn or Candace. I don't care if Dawn likes me. I don't care if Candace likes me. I don't care if Tim likes me. I don't care if you like me. I don't. Miss Daisy yesterday's asking, well, how do you feel about Josh? And Dawn's going, I have high hopes for him. Dude, I have high hopes that we find your daughter. Don't worry about me. I'm a grown man. Don't worry about what I'm doing. Because you obviously don't worry about it. You think that all we do is drag, and that's just not true. He wants to be my friend. Worry about your daughter first. And by the way, this time to move on, ridiculousness. And by the way, Don, you owe me an apology for coming up here and saying that I in any way, shape, or form insinuated that you off yourself last night. That was honestly a cowardly thing to do, to say, to try to put on me. That was wrong. And don't think that don't think I forgot about it. That was insanely weird. I never said anything like that. I never even insinuated anything like that. And the fact that you would try and lay that at my feet, you weirdo. Dawn doesn't want help. Okay, fine. Leave it at that. I think that we can all just leave it at that, right? Dawn said he wants to move on. From what? What's there to move on from? Now, rest assured, if it wasn't for people like me or Chris or anybody else that covers this case at all, negative or positive, trust me, it would go away. And you'd love that. But it's not going away. And law enforcement's not going away. I could go away tomorrow. Hell, I might. But that doesn't mean that law enforcement's going away. That doesn't mean that people are just going to drop it. That doesn't mean that you've outsmarted the police. Paula says, Don did tell Daisy he felt bad about how he talked to you. My mouth dropped to my chest. Well, don't. I mean, that's what he does. He freaks out and then he feels bad about it afterwards. That's a common theme. It's a common theme with Don. Act like an ass now, ask for forgiveness later. I'm not even mad at him. I don't even care. He can talk to me however he wants. He does it. He's done it all the time. And by the way, I've never been disrespectful to him like that. And also, I'm sorry that I talk about your missing daughter and your weird actions following this event. I just wish that it was different, but it's not. Patty, thank you very much. I appreciate that. You're very kind. But once again, the pocket watching and the money this and the whatever that. I tell you what, I made a video, just, I don't know, it was months and months and months ago. Nothing about this case. It was just a true crime. It was a Columbine thing. And, you know, people say, well, he only gets views from this. First of all, I have a second channel that gets just as many views as everybody else's major channels, and we talk about nothing. Second of all, I have many docs that are now hitting strides, 20,000, 50,000. My time would be well served making more of those. It's far more profitable. Trust me. Trust me. I do this because Summer needs help, and she's not getting it from Tim Mullen. She's not getting it from Dawn or Candace, in my opinion. Josh, the rapture isn't nothing. No, we do talk about the rapture. Yes, we do. Okay, so that's cool. That's cool. You know, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. You think that this is some like, dude, we're getting tons of views. Oh, cool. We got 5,000 views on one video. I mean, honestly, like that's whatever. Whatever. Not worried about any of that. I only have 2 channels. Yes. That's true. Kathy, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. Darlene says, we're here for summer. We're not here to make friends with you, Don, Candace, and people who abet. I think it was abet you. Is that maybe you're smart? I don't know that word. So get over that and know that we want, is it like abide or abide? I don't know. So get over that and just know we want justice for Summer. If that means you in jail for what you did, you know, I've told Don this before and I'll tell him again. He knows exactly why I do, quote unquote, this. The show about nothing, earwax. Yeah, we talked about ear candles one time. I know Donna has a PI. I know that he does. We all do. I think the walls are closing in on the wells and they can feel it. Okay, got it. Yeah, like, okay, I bet. I got it. Thank you. I learned a new, well, maybe I did know that. Look, it's a great comment. Encourage, assist. Okay, got it. To do something wrong in particular, commit a crime, like abetting. I got it now. YouTubians. It's really like a shame that we even have to go here. By the way, I just want to say this again. Tim, you don't tell the truth. You stretch things, you manipulate Dr. Phil and the behavioral panel, their words, you manipulate them. You try whatever it is that you can do to paint Don and Candace in a good light. And I'm telling you, Tim, that's the hardest job in the world because you're never going to be able to do it. Ever. It's actually an impossible job. You cannot do it. So stick to local stuff, talk about calendars, show people around where, you know, your great-great-great-grandfather built a park bench that some homeless man took a piss on one day, and bug off. Put out the facts. That's your job. That's your job, not to use Summer's website as your personal blog. Start a YouTube channel, Tim. I bet you nobody would listen to you. And guess what? Nobody would listen to you if you weren't running Summer's website. You feel me? Nobody would listen to you. Just like you've threatened every single YouTubian that's out here. But if you want to come and talk to me and have and try and show me your point of view, we can have that conversation. But you're a keyboard warrior. You don't want to have a conversation because you probably, I don't know if you even talk. I've never heard him, maybe once or twice. Frying Green Tomato, Josh, I'd watch you and Trev no matter what you talk about. You know, I hear people say that to me all the time. And I appreciate that. And I love that. It's such a nice thing to hear. Josh, I'd rather listen to you talk about nothing than have to read one more of Dorothy's insufferable misses. Why is it that Tim wants to, and by the way, I believe that I am blocked from Dawn. Let me see. But I told him I would love to talk to that weasel. I would love to talk to Tim. He's got so much to say about me and McDonough and anybody else that doesn't toe the line for their narrative, like some sort of mafioso, geriatric, underlord, Whitey Bulger wannabe. I could do it all day, dude. Josh, Tim got very close to a YouTube creator at Summer's last vigil, and he said, hello. It was very strange, in my opinion. She had some, yeah, he's weird. Grandiose. I know, geriatric was mean, but it was accurate. I mean, at least don't be passive when you're doing this. Talk about us. Add us. Use my name. You use my logo. Do it. I dare you. But you won't. And Don, you know that you blocked me, and you know damn well that you have no interest in receiving any help from anybody that could actually offer. It doesn't even have to be us. There's other help. There are other people have offered you other help. Yeah. And this whole thing about not setting up with, oh, they wouldn't let us talk to Brandy. What? No. Tim went out of his creepy little way to send off a letter carrier pigeon style. Anyway, I'm going to enjoy the rest of the night. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for everything. The chats, the super chats, the stickers, the new members, the likes, the shares. I don't know. But if you can see, take a look at the title, Time to Move On. That's not happening.
There is no investigation. This boy has...
There's not really. It is to me.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
But I have to put her on the side and worry about
I'm gonna do what I gotta do for me and my boys and my kids.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
There is no investigation. This boy has...
There's not really. It is to me. Right. Idiot.
I've done my best. It's hard, you know, that's real tough.
but I have to put her on the side and worry about the boys.
I'm gonna do what I gotta do for me and my boys and my kids.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
Live from the NBD Production Studios, you're in the lab with your host, Joshua Diaz.
There is no investigation. This boy has...
It's not really. It is to me.
But I have to put her on the side and worry about the boys. But I have to.
There is no investigation.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
But I have to put her. But I have to put her on the side and worry about the boys.